John Lewis here of Lewis Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing another Swhacker. You know, in my recent tests of Swhackers, they've been doing better and better. And I've always wanted to test this particular model. It's called the 201, number 201, and it has a 1.75 inch cut. So a little bit smaller cut to aid in penetration, give it a little more durability as well. And so we're going to put this head to the test using my regimen for 2023. And you can watch a video describing all the tests that I do and why I do them here on my channel, or you can read about them in the description right below the video that you're watching here, or any of my Broadhead test videos. And I'm going to be using my Bowtech CP28, set at 72 pounds, Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shooting, but then Bishop Fat Eliminators for the concrete shots because they can really handle it. So let's zoom on in here and check out the design features and specifications of this Swhacker 201 and then put it to the test. Here's a good look at this head. It's just a classic Swhacker design. You see it's got this aluminum ferrule that gets pretty narrow there at the end, and then it's got stainless steel blades which are 0.032 inches of thickness, and then a hardened steel trocar chisel tip. Now the blades are held closed by this O-ring, and then they open from the top or over the top. It's a front deploying or over the top deploying broadhead, mechanical head, meaning the blades come back and peel back that way, as opposed to a rear deploying where they open from the back. So the way it works is you've got this extended tip, about an inch of tip, to penetrate well into the hide, and that helps you with angled shots, so these little blades don't cause the arrow to kick off of an animal in an angled shot. And then the force of impact on these blades, on the hide and the tissue, causes this O-ring to be cut through. Let me see if I can peel it off here. And then that allows the blades to swing back into their full open position. So one of the cool things about this design with the Swhacker is you're getting a 1 inch cut initially into the animal with these single bevel blades. These are both single bevel. So you're getting a decent cut of 1 inch entrance, but then after cutting through the hide, they open up into their full cutting diameter, which in this model is 1.75 inches. And what's really neat is that these blades have not yet been dulled by the hide. Hide dulls a head considerably, especially with that first impact at that speed. And so it's nice that now you're going to a fresh blade for the remaining of the cut through the animal. And for resharpening, you can use either the Stay Sharp Guide, Gray Guide, or the C Kit. They both work really well with the Swhacker heads. And in this case, like I said, the total cut is 1.75 inches. Now, most mechanical heads, like the other Swhacker models, maybe they're 2 inches or 2¼ inches of cut, which is really great. But if you have a lighter setup, or you're going after a bigger animal and you want to maximize penetration, then a 1.75 inch cut is a really good compromise, because it's still big enough to put a huge gash in something, but small enough to give you a bit extra penetration. So I'm really eager to put this head to the test and see how it does. I want to see how this pretty narrow vented ferrule holds up to a hard impact, and then how well it penetrates with this 1.75 inch cut. Let's check out this Swhacker. Excellent flight. The vanes are touching there. $225 grams to cut through the wire. That translates into a 9.75 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated 7 3/4 inches. And here you can see the entrance cut of 1 inches, which is just the head in the closed position. $300. So it took an extra 75 grams of force to cut through the wire. That translates into an 8.5 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 49 layers. And it is noteworthy that the last inch of that is a pretty small, narrow cut. It's just that tip, but it still penetrated through 49 layers. It's in almost perfect condition after going through the MDF 3 times. One of the blades got a bit bent, but otherwise it's in very good shape. Oh, and I will note that in the durability test with mechanicals, the first shot that I take is in the closed position, but then the remaining shots are with the Broadhead in the open position to really make it a fair test between the rear deploying heads and the front deploying heads. And again, it's in really good shape after going through the steel plate 2 times. That blade got a little bit more bent, but there's very little edge chatter. The tip is in great shape. There's no bend in the ferrule, and you can see it made 2 really nice holes through that steel plate. Here's the Swhacker after going through the MDF 3 times, the steel plate 2 times, and then into the concrete. And man, it did better than I thought, all right? It held together. It didn't break in half, and it did bend. It kind of has that bird of prey look right there, a Conquered jet kind of a thing. And you can see that swivel to it, but it didn't break. And it's stuck in the concrete pretty well. So pretty impressed with the durability of this head. So what'd you think of the Swhacker 201, this 1.75 inch? Hey, I tell you what, it did really well. This might be my favorite of all the Swhackers so far. I like that cut size. I like the penetration that it gave. Decent durability, not like the best, but decent. And overall, something really worth considering. So check out the score sheet and see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most and see if it might be a good fit for you.